In today's class, we want to consider calculating decimals. And when you talk about calculating decimals, what is meant by decimal? Decimal is a fraction that has its denominator as either 10 or 100 or 1000, as goes like that. It can be 1 million. Once you have a fraction, and when we say a fraction is a number that is written in this form, a over b. This is a fraction. But when you are having a fraction in the form of having the denominator, this is the numerator, this is what we call the numerator, and this is what we call the denominator. When you are having the denominator to now equals to either 10, either 100 or 1000, as the case may be. If you are having 10,000, when you are having the denominator in this format, then you are having it as a decimal. Now, you can see from this example that we have here, 45 over 10 is 4.5, because the decimal here, the denominator here has made this fraction to become a decimal. And like you have it here, this is 36 over 100 is 0.36. So that means that when you are having the denominator of a fraction as a power of 10, that means you are having it 10, 100, 1000, like that. And you can see the example we are having here, 7 over 1000, that's 0.007. Now, one more thing we need to quickly understand about this is, how will you now convert from fraction to decimal and from decimal to fraction? Like what we have here, you are having 4.5. Now, how will you take the 4.5 to 45 over 10? The decimal point you are having here stand as your 1, and the next digit you are having after the decimal stand as 0. So that's why you can have it as 45 over 10. The same thing goes with this. The decimal point you're having here stand as 1, and this digit is 0, the other digit is 0, 36 over 100. The same thing applies to this. Now, the position that is occupied after the decimal point is what we refer to as decimal place. In this case, just like what we have here, this is after the decimal point. How many digits do we have here? Is 1 digit. So this is 1 decimal place. After the decimal point, the same thing. How many digits do we have here? This is 2 decimal place. And here we are having 3 decimal place. That's why I have my example here. 4.5 as 1 decimal place. And here, you can look at this. 4.526. After the decimal point, we are having 3 digits. 1, 2, 3 as 3 decimal place. Now, the next thing we quickly want to consider in this concept is when you multiply decimal with power of 10, what will happen? Now, the position of the decimal point matters in this case. Peradventure, you are having 2.467 multiplied by 10. Now, what will the answer be? It's not necessary that you have to press calculator. Even based on the requirement for the exam, what will you do to get your answer in this case? When you multiply a decimal number, a decimal with power of 10, it's just to move the decimal point. As you are standing, this is your right hand side and this is your left hand side. When you are multiplying a decimal number with power of 10 or with 10, you are going to do what? You move the decimal number or the decimal point to the right. As you can see here, you move this to the right, just 1, because you're having 1 0 here. And that gives us what? 24.67. Now, I'm still writing the same number, 2.467, now multiplied by 100. Now, how many zeros do we have here? We're having 2 zeros here. That means you have to move this decimal point to the right twice. 1, 2. And that gives us what? 246.7. Now, for instance, I'm still having the same number, 2.467 times 10000. That's 10,000. Now you could see that you are having even 3 digits here and you are having 4 zeros here. So what will you do? You are still going to move your decimal point based on the number of zeros that you have. You are having 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now there is an empty space here. So you have to fill that empty space that you have moved with 0. So your answer becomes 24670. That is multiply with power of 10. That means when you multiply decimal with power of 10, this is what you are going to get. Now, when you now divide decimal with power of 10, remember when you are multiplying, you are moving multiplication move to what? Right. Now, when you are now dividing, what will you do? In the case of division, we are still using the same number. When you have 2.467 divided by 10, now this is divided by 10. What will you do? You are going to move your decimal point just one time to the left. The other time you are moving to the right. Now, when you are dividing by power of 10 or by tens, you are going to move it to the left. And that's when you move this 0 to the decimal point to the left, you're having 0.2467. That's your answer. Now, when you have the same number, 2.467 divided by 100. In this case, you are moving twice, 2 times to your left. That means you are moving 1, 2. Remember there is an empty space here. This is not where the decimal point is. You are going to fill this with 0. So your answer becomes 0.02467. And you are still going to use the same thing when it is even more than that. But make sure you are having 2.467 times 1,000. So divided by 1,000, you are still dividing. You are moving to the left now. And as you can see, how many zeros do you have here? 3 zeros. Then you are going to move 1, 2, 3. In that case, you are having 0, 0. Then your answer becomes 0.00247. You can see the way to quickly do your multiplication and division with the power of 10 and what decimal number is all about. When you want to get more information about this, you can subscribe to our channel. This is what we have for today. If you have any other comments or any information, subscribe to our channel to get more information. And if there are some questions that are not clear to you, still subscribe to that channel and press the thumb up button to get more information. In our next class, we'll be looking at addition and subtraction of decimal.